Once again, with a watery or lean mix of cobalt blue, I'll come in and continue the shading. I'll tend to shade within the previously shaded areas. It's a tendency, not a rule. But you can see here I'm going into these areas that I had put a light shade of cobalt blue, and I'm adding a little bit smaller subshade. I'll create a hard edge, and in this case I'm kind of breaking the other side off into cracks and crevices of sorts. Sometimes the shapes that I set back have two hard edges, as in this case. Again, it's important that I not go too dark with this cobalt blue. It's a very light value, because remember, I'm building up the shades in various steps. So I don't want to go too dark too early. Cobalt blue over cobalt blue, being it's transparent, equals a darker cobalt blue. Now, just like in the first step, I would like to avoid getting too detailed with the cracks and crevices. That's hard for me to do. I've got to continuously remind myself to avoid that, because again, I'm going to come in and progressively go to a smaller brush and do smaller details. And again, I'm tending to work it within previously shaded areas. These cracks and crevices and shades can be overworked, so I'd like not to undo my base mountain colors by overworking it and making it too busy. And I find that by staying in the previously shaded areas, it helps me to not cover everything with cracks and crevices. I'm picking up a dark band that is unique to this particular mountain range. Something to do with the sedimentary nature of the mountain there. Again, I like the flat brush for this because I can pivot between the tip of one of the corners and turn it and use the full flat width of the brush. I find it to be a very versatile brush, particularly for this function. Now I'm starting to get into a little bit smaller cracks and crevices. Now a lot of this I'm really ad-libbing. I'm not really looking at a photograph and painting all these cracks and crevices exactly as they are, but I know the basic patterns of the mountain, and I'm just trying to accent some of this sedimentary layering of it. I enjoy doing this job. I just sort of peck away at the mountains and try to give details that will provide more information and cues to the viewer. On the same hand, I try to remember to not overdo it. So I find this to be the biggest challenge of shading and shaping mountains, is to basically know when to hold them and know when to fold them. because too busy is not good either. Often with watercolor, less is more. I've switched over to my rigger, which I use for the more fine details. I'm careful to apply these shades only to dry paper. So if it's an area that I had previously shaded, I'll make sure that it's dry before I come in again. If any area gets darker than I like, I just dab it back with the tissue. And back to my rigger again for some of the finer details. The rigger is a governor of sorts in that it really limits how much paint I can apply, and that's a good thing at this later stage of the detailing. And I'm just about getting to the point where I risk overworking these mountains. So I'm going to wrap this up.